Okay, it's 6:30, so we'll call the meeting to order.
People never.
Make sure she's ready.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
That many people come to this one.
you ready? Okay. Okay, I'd just like everybody to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, I gotta get my other one. I'm not.
Hey.
Okay. This past year at the school, it's been a busy year, and I want to thank the administration and the teachers for the job that they're doing. Past year has been another busy and successful one for the staff and administration for Shaftsbury Elementary School. We are continuing our plan of upgrading the physical part of the school. We're going to major this time on the other wing. We're going to do the upgrade the ventilation and heat. We'll be doing that at our, I think our John Penny is coming at the next meeting. So, right? Hopefully. So when we get to that, we should be in good shape. The school should be in great shape, as a matter of fact. I want to, we're seeing the results of our math interventionist program. This is something that we started a couple of years ago, and you can really see the difference in the SBAC results. Our grade 3, which was low, and that has really gone up dramatically. And it's my belief that if you get a kid that learns math early, he'll learn it a lot faster and keep it. But if he doesn't learn it by grade 3, then he'll be in trouble for the rest of his life. So I think we're doing a great job at that. I want to thank Ms. Mustaine and now Gabrielle Watson, which is the math interventionist at the school. I know we're going to have Act 46 sometime if the legislators ever finalize it. So right now we're sort of floating around in the middle of it, and we don't know. We've worked up our budget, and hopefully it'll be there for when we combine with everything else. Because we'll be having a vote sometime late spring for new members of the new board, the elementary board of I guess it's Mount Anthony Elementary Board, Bennington area, and the members, we'll have 2 members on that board, all not unless they change it by the time we get there. Every district will have 2 members. So if you see petitions going around, the petitions are for the new board members for that, which will go into effect when the new people are voted in. Okay. Jeff, you want to have a report?
Sure.
Jeff Johnson, the principal.
Good evening, everyone. So the staff at Shaftsbury Elementary is dedicated to providing the best possible educational program for our students here. Our 217 is our current population. Our mission continues to be to provide the best active and caring learning environment that enables children to develop their fullest potential intellectually, physically, socially, and emotionally. As Ed pointed out, we had a number of staff changes this year. Mrs. Kenyon joined us as a second grade teacher. Mr. Miner joined us as a sixth grade teacher. And Mrs. Gothier joined us as a kindergarten paraprofessional. And we had some veteran staff kind of shift around a little bit. Miss Mustaine, who was our math teacher last year, is currently our fourth grade teacher. And Miss Watson, who was a second grade teacher last year, is now our math teacher. And both are doing an excellent job in those new positions. And as Ed said, the math position has been a great addition. We've seen some really positive results in our students since creating that position. The students continue to show progress academically. We saw healthy growth rates of 5.55% in mathematics and 3.39% in English language arts. We continue to strive for 3 to 5% growth rate increase in these areas. And as part of that goal, the district adopted the Reading Street reading program for grades kindergarten to second grade this year. Since implementing our positive behavior intervention systems program 3 years ago, we've seen a significant decrease in our discipline referrals. With our common school-wide expectations, students are being respectful, responsible, and safe here at Shaftsbury Elementary. Our continuous school improvement plan addresses these areas as well as social emotional well-being, comprehensive multi-tier system of supports, and science. This year, we'll be monitoring our action steps for effectiveness to make adjustments to best serve our students in the years to come. As we've done the past few years, we've updated our educational technology around the school. Thanks to funding from the Parent-Teacher Organization and the KIP Fund, we have replaced a number of outdated and malfunctioning smart boards with new Promethean boards. The PTO has also made a significant investment into our makerspace, where students are experiencing learning that will help them prepare for the 21st century. A few thank yous. I'd like to thank the work of the PTO for all their support. All of our fundraising done here at Shaftsbury is done through school community events. We don't sell anything here at Shaftsbury. Everything's done through either Big Truck Night, our dances, all school activities that help provide stuff for our children. Those funds are used for fall and spring programs, equipment for our makerspace and classroom, and costs for field trips, just to name a few things. Finally, thank you to the students, parents, staff, community members, and the current board for all their support this year. Together, we all make Shaftsbury a wonderful place to learn. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay, now we're going on to Article 2, authorize the school board to borrow money from time to time during the 2019 to 2020 school year in anticipation of the receipt of taxes and state aid to meet the current expenses and to issue interest-bearing notes and orders. Do I have a motion to accept that? We have a motion. Do I have a second? We have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Thank you. Now, Article 3 is to see what sum the district will vote to pay its officers for the ensuing year. Last year, we paid the, what was it, $800 a year? $800 a year. Can I have a motion to either say to repeat that or change it?
I'll make a motion to
Keep it the same? $800 a year for the board members.
Second.
We have a second. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Thank you. And Article 4 is to authorize the school board to transfer and expend funds from the established and audited capital reserve fund for capital expenses. Now, this year, we probably will do that because we're going to use some of our capital expense fund to take care of the new construction that we're, new renovations that we're doing on the other end. Be similar for the heat and the ventilation. Can I have a motion to authorize the school board to transfer the funds? So we have a motion, a second? We have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Article 5 is to hold a public information hearing on articles to be voted on by Australian ballot on March 5th, 2019. That's tomorrow. Anybody have any questions about the ballot questions tomorrow? We have school board director for a 3-year term, but actually the 3-year term will only be short time because when the new board goes into effect, that'll be the end of that one. And elect one school board director for a 2-year term. Then again, it'll only be a short period of time, probably less than 6 months. Article C says, shall the voters of the Shaftsbury Town School District approve the school board to expend $3,713,216, which is the amount the school board has determined to be necessary for the ensuing fiscal year. It is estimated that the proposed budget is, if approved, will result in an education spending of $14,951 per equalized pupil. This projected spending per equalized pupil is 6.38% higher than the spending for this current year. And Article D is shall the voters of Shaftsbury Town School District raise $50,000 by taxes to be deposited into the Building Major Repairs and Renovations Reserve Fund during the 2019 and 2020 school year. Now, we are using quite a bit of those school funds. This is on page 19 of your paper that they gave you. This is, we're going to be expending quite a bit from the funds that we have set aside now for this year. That'll be for what we did last year and what we're going to vote on to get the other half of the school all up to date. And that it is estimated that the proposed budget of Article C and Article D, if approved, will result in a total education spending of $15,172 per equalized pupil. This projected total spending per equalized pupil is 7.95% higher than the spending for the current year. Okay. And Article 6 is to transact any other business found proper when met. Does anybody have any other business that they'd like to bring forward? Seeing none? Yes.
I just have a question about the
Fine.
budget, and I really apologize because I don't have a whole lot of figures here, but I'm just curious, I forget what you said it was, close to 7% without the articles. Can you just let us know what's driving that much high, what seems like a fairly high percentage increase?
Well, the major increase is you will find that all the school districts are going to have a resource officer available in the school all the time the children are here. So that is picked up like an extra person, about $50,000, $60,000. That is, you know what a resource officer is? That's like a sheriff.
Right. Is there grant money that comes along with that?
Not that I know of. Not at this prime. There isn't any grant money, is there? No. And all the school districts will have the same problem. They're going to be, at least, I don't know if Bennington is voting on it, but the Shaftsbury board thought that we would just put it right in there. We're not going to make that decision not to have a resource officer here But we just felt that we'd put it right in the budget.
I'm just curious, so there wasn't any conversation, don't we have safe school?
We do.
Out there after the shootings?
We do have safe schools, but what concerns me is that what's going to come out is that, okay, say Bennington doesn't pass the resource officer, or Pownell doesn't have, or Woodford. You know, and if somebody has that in their mind, that they want to cause some destruction, they're going to go to the one without the resource officer.
Oh, I totally understand that, and I think we need it.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with the position.
Right.
I'm just surprised, frankly, that with all of the concern around school safety, that isn't something maybe the state or on a federal level, that there's money for those kinds of positions.
It's, no money, right, Renee? Nope. So that's up to the local taxpayers or something like that to take care of that.
So that's someone that will be in the building all day, or?
That's, the projection is to be in the building anytime the children are here, during school time, that they will be here.
Is this a uniformed officer, or?
It's somebody who has gone through training.
I see.
No, I don't know if he probably will have some kind of uniform on, so that'll show who he is. But we're contacting through the sheriff's office, and they would be supplying them.
And can I ask what the line item is for that position?
I think it's 50,000, right? Is it 50,000? Close. Tim.
Tim Scoggins, I just wanted to make a comment about the new district that's coming together and the representation model that was handed down from the state that has 2 votes for every town, 2 votes for Shaftsbury, 2 votes for Woodford, 2 votes for Bennington. I think, while it sounds like us small towns are getting a windfall from that, I think it would be a mistake to let that stand, and I would urge the members of this board, especially the ones who are looking to populate the new district board. I believe one of the first things that ought to happen is that we ought to move to adopt an MAU-type model for the new district. The MAU model has served us well at the high school level for quite a while, and the genius of the MAU model is it gives more votes to the more populous town, Bennington, but it doesn't allow Bennington to run the show. They don't have a majority of votes, and it's a model that has encouraged cooperation for some 40 years. And my worry is that if we let this stand and don't do anything about it, Bennington will do something about it. And Bennington is very likely, I don't know how likely, but Bennington certainly would be within their rights to push for a representational model on this new board. And that would give them a majority of votes in every situation because they have a majority of pupils, in which case we would become essentially a suburb of the Bennington district. I think at this point, the Bennington School District people I have talked to are open to the idea of continuing the MAU model, and I think it would serve us well to join with them and push for that in the spirit of cooperation. And if the spirit of cooperation doesn't serve you well enough, then do it out of fear that we would end up in a district where Bennington calls all the shots.
Yes, and I think our local school board took just a vote. It wasn't an official vote, but we backed the Mount Anthony idea. Anybody else got anything else? And just to let you know, Tim, and they're putting Arlington into our mix, Arlington and Sunderland into the Act 46. And those people are getting 3 votes. So it just goes to show Montpelier doesn't think even, doesn't, so I'll leave it at that.
Ed, can I make a comment? Since you introduced
Yes,
Montpelier.
Dave, yes.
Just to clarify, the Arlington and Sandgate merger is not into this elementary district, so that it'd be into the supervisory union.
Into
So,
the,
yeah, so they're, and I know there's a lot of question and ultimately still some decisions to be made about how many members each district will have on the SU board, but for this board, it's going to be 2 for everyone, as Tim said. Arlington will not ever be part of that district. Arlington will remain a separate school district joining the SU.
Right.
Yeah.
okay. Does anybody else have anything else they'd like to comment on? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn? We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor of adjourning? Opposed? Have a good day.